Gary Payton at the Seattle Supersonics.
Jay Peter with the Seattle Mariners.
Jermaine Kearse.
Cliff Averill.
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
What's up, you guys? NorbCam coming at you on this Monday following the Seahawks pounding of the Los Angeles Chargers yesterday in their first preseason game, 48-17. And yeah, baby, we're going to the Super Bowl. 48-17, dominating. Okay, well, it was preseason. So I personally, like most of you probably, look at preseason with a grain of salt. You know, it's just the first game. Really more of a chance to kind of see how our backups and our rookies are looking. Can't take too much away from it, but it's always nice when you get a win. And having watched the game yesterday at my friend Dulce, who was having her 56th birthday party with a bunch of crazy Seahawks fans over, was a lot of fun, and it felt like we were watching a Super Bowl game. Actually, the energy we had in that room. So that made it that much more fun, because most of the time preseason games are kind of like, but that was actually a blast. So it was fun to just be watching football all over again, and Seahawks football is back in town, baby, and it's great to be watching. So quick review of the game, pros and the cons of how the game went. Obviously 48-17, it's nice to see you get the win no matter what type of game it is, and when you get 48 points, that's always a good thing. We got turnovers, lots of exciting plays, pick sixes, we had long acrobatic catches, lots to reflect back on. So I want to say my probably the star player of that game was Kason Williams. Kason Williams, as you know, he's been kind of a practice squad guy for the Seahawks for a while, and originally from the UW, and been trying to get on the Seahawks team. Has never been quite able to break through and get a starting role. He's been like a forever practice squad guy for them, but he made a strong case for himself to make it his way into the rotation there, since we may have lost one of our receivers yesterday, which was sad to see. But Kason Williams, man, had 4 amazing catches, all kind of on that left sideline. It was almost like watching instant replay of every single catch. It was like fly down left sideline, jump, high point, get the ball. Fly down left side, dive, get the ball. Fly down left sideline, should have been picked off, and he steals it from the DB. And finally, fly down left side into the corner, makes a catch, toe taps, actually gets the second foot. Should have not been a catch because that second foot hit the line. But hey, I'm not going to argue with it. So he had 4 amazing catches that were really fun to watch. So he was definitely, to me, the standout player of the game. Made a strong case for him being on there, possibly edging his way in that rotation. So quite the traffic jam in the receiving core. So we'll see how it goes, but that was pretty impressive. I thought the backup quarterbacks, actually, and Russell Wilson for that matter, they all played pretty solid if you put all 3 of their performances together. Russell led the team down for a field goal, almost converted a first down with his legs. He was a yard short. If he actually converted that, I bet they'd probably get the ball into the end zone and get a touchdown scoring drive on that one. But they fell short and had to settle for a field goal. So yeah, but Wilson was pretty solid. Had a couple nice passes. Actually had a nice pass to Paul Richardson, who caught one streaking down the left sideline. Unfortunately, Richardson had to go out of the game after that, but to that point, that was a pretty exciting play. And then Trevon Boykin was outstanding. Threw a couple touchdowns, I think, and ran one in. Played really well, I thought, and I knew he could run, but I thought he actually did a pretty good job throwing the ball. Some of them were kind of go up and get him passes, but yeah, he threaded the needle on a couple of them, so I was impressed with that, because I'd been kind of hearing a lot of negative things about our backups, quarterbacks, and they actually did fairly well. Even Austin Davis, who's also fighting for that backup quarterback position, I thought he did pretty well, running the ball, made some nice throws. They were all pretty solid, so gotta check that off as an A for quarterback play. And then the other positive things were we had a lot of turnovers, a lot of that due to our defense rising up, the new guys making plays, like Will Hoyt, who we got from the 49ers, playing in that middle linebacker spot, made a nice play on the running back, went out for a pass, got in there, broke it up, popped that ball into the air, which led to the pick 6 by our other linebacker. So that was cool to see. And then feeling like finally we've got some depth at linebacker, some guys, not just one, but a couple guys who can really help us fatten up that depth that we've been needing for a while at strong side linebacker. So that was good to see. And then on the defensive line, Nazir Jones got a deflection, which led to an interception by one of the other linemen, which was pretty cool. Nazir Jones, a big guy, got his big mitts up there and hit that ball up in the air and got picked off. So that was pretty cool. And running backs, it's good to see all of them out there looking pretty good. Rawls was kind of out there to start off with, and then they had a little bit of Eddie Lacy run in there, breaking a couple tackles. CJ Procise ran the ball a little bit, caught the ball. And then Alex Collins and the new guy, Carson. I thought he did a pretty good job running too. He was running hard. And again, this is against third and fourth string guys, so it's kind of hard to really gauge that. But he did look good for the time that he was in there. So it's nice to just see we got, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs right there that we just get 2 or 3 of those guys to stay healthy. We're going to be in good shape there. So Blair Walsh, our new kicker from the Minnesota Vikings, I thought he never really praised the kicker much, but I've been waiting for that, and I've been predicting since last year when they moved Hauschka to Buffalo, and then we got Blair Walsh. Both those guys kind of had bad seasons last year, and I said I think both of them are going to bounce back and have pretty good seasons for their respective teams this year. So nice to see him get off to a good start, made all his field goals, made all his extra points. He was 100% accurate. Kickoffs, I think he intentionally probably kicked a few of those short just so they could see the coverage guys doing their thing. So far, so good. So hopefully he stays the course. To sum up my positive side of things, the team as a whole just played well. It was good to see the rookies on the field making plays, and it's just nice to have depth in multiple positions, even offensive line. It seemed like we felt like we've been starved and lacking that depth, which was such a key part of our Super Bowl run in 2013, having that defensive line depth. Defensive line probably is the one that it feels like we don't have as much depth as we do in a lot of the other positions, but we'll see how things go as the injury situation plays itself out. Which flips to the other side, over the negative things about this game. Well, for me, the fear I always have about preseason is injuries that take place in the preseason, and we unfortunately had a couple of them. Paul Richardson, after that spectacular catch on the left side from Russell Wilson, came out of the game with what they're calling an AC sprain, which I think is a shoulder thing. So I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it just kind of sucks because Paul Richardson, that's kind of been his theme, his storyline is that for as long as he's been on the Seahawks, he's been off the field with injuries as long as he's been on the field, probably more. And last year was his first, probably longest stretch where he wasn't injured. And he comes out in preseason, makes a spectacular catch, and all of a sudden he's out of the game. And that's the same thing that happened in the 2015 season when he was coming off an injury. Came out against the Arizona Cardinals, I think on a Sunday night game or Monday night, I can't remember now, but he made a spectacular catch on the left-hand side as well. And that was it. He pulled his hamstring or something, then he was done for the rest of the year. So I'm hoping this is not the case with him on that particular play. It's early in the season, and it's a shoulder, not a leg, so hopefully it's just a short amount of time, but we will find out the details. The other one was Jordan Simone, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but he was going down for a kickoff, I believe it was kickoff coverage, and he fell awkwardly and was holding his knee, had to be helped off the field, and apparently he's got an ACL tear, so he's going to be out for a while. So that's the second injury that we had in this preseason game. Then, of course, no one's really talking about it much since the news broke way back at the first day of camp, but Malik McDowell, our first overall pick in the second round, as everybody knows by now, he was injured in that ATV accident during the offseason. Nobody knows when he's going to be back. From my understanding, it seems like it's going to be at least halfway through the season before he's able to even take the field. So it just bites when your number one draft pick is not even available to you, for majority of the season, and that seems to be the case. And we could really use him on that defensive line because I feel like, as I said earlier, the defensive line is the one area where I feel like we don't have quite as much depth. We could really use as many bodies as there as we can because inevitably injuries are going to take place. Unfortunately, we cannot rely on him, so we'll just see what the doctors say and find out when we're going to get a approximation of when he's going to be back, and all these guys for that matter. And then the other thing I thought that was a little disappointing was Jermaine Fetty had a few struggles, had a penalty there, and it was just a bad game. Maybe he's still recovering from the beat down he got from Frank Clark from practice the other week. Whatever it wasn't his best game, but I'm sure he'll do better. Just wasn't quite solid. Saw George Fant kind of get beat around the edge on the play that Russell Wilson had to scramble for. It seemed like he was under the pocket collapsed pretty quick when that end got around his outside a little faster than what you'd want, and Russell had to bail out quick. So that wasn't. Those were a couple of low spots there. Just looking at the offensive line, and then just in general, you only saw the first team offense and defense in the first series on both sides. And in the first series of the game, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers went down and went 75 yards for a touchdown against our number one defense. You never want to see that. It looked too easy. They were running easy and making passes. It didn't seem like we'd get much pressure, so it wasn't happy seeing the way that kind of started. But again, it's preseason. Can't get too high about the positives. Can't get too low about the negatives. I was impressed by Shaq Griffin. There was one play he should have actually had an interception. He was going stride for stride with the receiver, and Philip Rivers actually hit him in the arm, kind of underthrew the ball, that he was right there. So I thought he did pretty well in his debut. So a lot to be positive about, a few things to watch to see if they can improve on, and of course the injury situation. So otherwise, it was a fun first game to watch. Looking forward to being at CenturyLink this Friday. We'll be, of course, at the game, live streaming the action. Seahawks versus Vikings, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Gonna be fun to be back in the stadium cheering and doing our 12 thing up there at home. So looking forward to being at the game and bring it to you guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for those of you who were watching my stream yesterday, like Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman, the real guys, because that's what they do. They comment on NorbCam, But I hope you guys will tune in to that live action on Friday. It's gonna be a fun time. Good start to the season. All right, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe right over here. Click on that spot to subscribe to me. Get me over that 24,000 mark. It's taking forever to get there. I'm this close. And then Chargers reaction video or something over here. Thanks for checking it out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Go Hawks.